Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to talk about right now is the movie Leave the World Behind. I was sent a PDF about this, so I'm going to read it to you. And if you would like to have the PDF, just email me and in the subject line put PDF, okay? So I know what I'm sending you back because mom brain. So it starts out with story at a glance, all right, and I'll read it to you. It says, Leave the World Behind depicts the unraveling of society in the wake of a surprise attack by an unknown assailant. Many believe the film produced by the Obamas predict a cyber attack on the U.S. power grid, which, in my opinion, is a very likely scenario, okay? A cyber attack that will make the pandemic look like a minor inconvenience in comparison has been repeatedly promised in recent years by the WEF founder Klaus. Leave the World Behind does not preach preparedness ideologies or indulge in apocalyptic fantasies. Instead, it offers a glimpse into the potential ramifications of societal breakdowns and the human condition's capacity for both despair and resilience. It urges viewers to confront their own vulnerabilities, fostering a critical examination of our dependency on interconnected systems and the importance of building individual and communal resources. Take inspiration from the film. Do not live in fear, which is what I always say, fear less, right? But to act with intention. Build your own arc, hone your skills, and cultivate a strong community around you. By embracing preparedness, you can face the uncertainties of the future with resilience and hope. Now, some say, and I agree, that due to who produced this movie, it might be predicting that a cyber attack on the US power grid is imminent. And certainly a cyber attack will make the pandemic look like a inconvenience, okay? In comparison has been repeatedly promised, okay? I mean, Klaus himself, in his own words, and in the words of other globalists, have even said so themselves, okay? So now I'm going to read something called Lightly Veiled Narratives. Leave the World Behind doesn't just depict the unraveling of society as we know it in the wake of a surprise attack by an unknown assailant. It serves as a stark wake-up call for us to consider our own preparedness for a world without the familiar crutches of a modern infrastructure. Forget zombies and alien invasions. This film dives into the scarier, more plausible possibility of a slow, insidious breakdown of the systems that underpin our daily lives. Approaching this film with awareness helps unpack several lightly veiled narratives. Right. I've always said, don't get too involved in zombie apocalypse, alien invasions, things like that, because I know that there are a lot of people who prepare for things like that. And I get it, because The Walking Dead and stuff like that. All right, yeah. That's sci-fi fantasy type thing. I get it. I understand it, and that all pretty much lit a fire under our arses with the preparedness aspect of it, and grid down, and society collapsing, and stuff like that. I understand it. I totally do. So technocratic, centralized global agendas like the Great Reset, depopulation, a social credit scoring systems that will erode autonomy could manifest through engineered crises that rally public obedience, whether it's from bioterror events, cyber attacks, lockdowns, or strategic electric grid sabotages that override liberty for security. Societal PTSD primes people to accept new norms for stability. Totalitarian tiptoe tactics and manufactured chaos lets hidden hand manipulate populations toward desired powered shifts, disguised as natural outcomes. Disaster births massive opportunities for control when the public is too overwhelmed to scrutinize capital flows or even to ask questions. So who benefits, right? I think that is one of the main questions that nobody seems to get an answer to, right? Who benefits from any and all of these crises that seem to pop up, right? Those who orchestrate these crises. Interestingly, one of the false narratives that this film tries to casually embed into the public psyche is that there is no shadowy cabal pulling the string. So, is this a conspiracy theory, or could this be a cautionary tale? Whether Leave the World Behind proves conspiracy theory or cautionary tale. Arm yourself with provisions and principles that will check any tyranny rising from the orchestrated ashes. We, the people, united, will never be defeated. Where decentralization flourishes, so does freedom. This controversy extends beyond the film's story, weaving into questions about media's potential to influence real world events and the anxieties of a society constantly on the precipice of change. And the film centers around the one family, okay, and their idyllic Hamptons, living in the Hamptons and their vacation and blah, blah, blah. And it gets shattered. It gets shattered one day by cryptic warnings of a brewing catastrophe. So as the grid and the communications networks, they flicker on and off, and the familiar hum of infrastructure fades, they are forced to confront a sobering reality, right? Their existence depends on a web of interconnected systems precariously balanced on the edge of a collapse. So this vulnerability, which is mirrored in countless aspects of modern life, it becomes the film's central theme, serving as a stark reminder of our resilience on electricity, on internet, and logistical supply chains that now seem so easily disrupted. So could this or could this not be predictive programming? Okay, well, it isn't merely a cautionary tale, it's a catalyst. It's a catalyst for uncomfortable questions. Some speculate it constitutes predictive programming due to the inclusion of cryptic signs and symbols. Predictive programming theory suggests media subtly expose future agendas in a way that audience they ingest without resistance. So, there's could there be predictive programming? Well, look at who produced it. Adding further fuel to the fire is the film's production company, Higher Ground Productions. It's co-founded by the Obamas. This connection, many say, also suggests a veiled agenda. Yeah. So because this family and their reliance on modern day comforts like we all live, okay, and technology highlights the dangers of complacency and the fragility of our very existence. This movie does not preach preparedness, ideologies, nor does it indulge in apocalyptic fantasies. Instead, it offers a glimpse into the potential ramifications of societal breakdowns and the human condition's capacity for both despair and resilience. It urges viewers to confront their own vulnerabilities, fostering a critical examination of our dependency on interconnected systems and the importance of building individual and communal resources. So while there have been many, many articles written about the hidden messages in this movie, because I've read many, many articles. No, I have not yet watched it. I want to, but I'm like this with it, most of them miss the most important hidden messages, or Easter eggs is what they're really called. There is no doubt that these concealed communications have nothing to do with The Obamas who produced the film, they were far more likely put in by editors of the film. And that's just not the conclusion that I came to. That's the conclusion that a lot of people came to as well. Because I did do my research on this movie. I really did. And that's why I'm like this on even watching it. Um, the narrative strategically implies that the values, the structures, the individuals build their lives upon it's like because we are so dependent, if you will, on technology, on this, on that, on this, on that, and it literally becomes obsolete just like that overnight, gone, poof, no more. Okay, it exposes the unfortunate reality that amidst turmoil, human nature often leads to disintegration of unity, where trust erodes and individuals tend to betray rather than help one another. As such, the film unveils the inherent vulnerabilities in human interactions. At its core, the narrative hits at an unsettling reality, if you will, that in a crisis, human relationships will likely falter. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship you have, whether it's spouse, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, sister, brother, parent, whatever the case may be. This exposes vulnerabilities as people driven by instinct or desperation might betray one another, leaving the very essence of trust fractured in the face of adversity. Kind of like what we talk about, in some videos, like when we could talk to people that we love till we're blue in the face on why they should prepare, and then they would sit there and laugh at us. But yet they'll say, well, if shite hits the fan, we'll just come to your house. Nope, that door's going to stay shut. Okay, that's what this is talking about. It's going to expose us to vulnerabilities, and relationships are going to falter because we're not going to open that door because you didn't listen to us. That's what this is referring to. So, you know, I th- I think I don't know. I'm still like this with it. I really truly am. I don't know. Have you guys watched it yet? What did you think? So, while this film may raise uncomfortable questions about MSM manipulation and societal control, it also offers like a beacon of hope. The hope that by acknowledging your or our vulnerabilities, fostering resilience, and engaging in honest conversations, we can emerge from the shadows on or of potential collapse, more informed, adaptable, and empowered. I believe that there is a very real possibility that this scenario that this movie depicts could very well happen. And is it because of who produced it? Yeah. Plus, I think this is something that's more probable than nuclear anything, in my opinion. Yeah. Given everything that we know, it would be foolish to ignore this kind of a warning and be unprepared for a disaster like this. Would this light or should this light a fire under your tuchus? Yeah. In the case of a grid failure and infrastructure collapse, understanding that chaos will prevail in the streets is crucial and must inform your decisions and your preparations. And the longer the grid failure persists, the more severe the chaos will become. Like I did a video the other day saying it's that the people will be the ones that you have to worry about. Okay? Because when shite hits the fan, chaos erupts, and people know that you have food stocked and water stocked and supplies stocked. They're going to be the ones to come at you. So you have to be prepared. So while lockdowns might not be enforced, venturing outside your property will be dangerous. Being able to stay sheltered at home, bugging in, should always be your first priority, not bugging out. But sheltering at home will be paramount for safety, considering the risks of harm or worse amidst the chaos. So preparation is key here. It always has been. And identifying and acquiring essentials now while you still can is also crucial. Two fundamental necessities stand out: food and water. It's what I've been preaching and practicing what I preach for the past 3 years. Most prepping advice, okay, does not aim at optimal health, which is what you should be worried about as well. And, I know a lot of people say rice, beans, this, that, and the other. And I say the same thing. It'll keep you alive, but you also have to worry about your meds and your health and stuff like that. Okay. So I want you to also keep that stuff in mind. Okay. So, yes, get your shelf stable, your non perishables, your water, your ways of cooking off grid. If you can afford a generator, awesome sauce, solar generator, gas generator, whatever. Okay. This movie, Leave the World Behind, just reminds us, while a societal collapse may seem like a distant dystopian fantasy, it's really not. It's really not, because you can take inspiration from a film, not to live in fear, but to act with intention. Build your own arc. Hone on your skills. Cultivate a strong community around you. Embrace your preparedness. Face your uncertainties of the future with resilience, with hope. Fear less. Stay strong. Leaving that world behind, not with panic, but with strength. And that's all I got to say. Okay? Just keep in mind on everything that I said. Remember who made it, this movie. And just remember the movie that was made about East Palestine, Ohio, with the train derailment and what happened with that. Just saying. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less. Ciao.